What's up, guys? It's Rav here. Today I thought I'd bring you guys some changes I'd like to see to Assassin. So since tactical swapping has been removed, these are the non-tactical related buffs I'd like to see for Assassin. Alright, because if you're going to remove tactical swapping and keep the class so weak, what's the point, right? Oh, also, Moscar's here. Moscar, do you want to say hi?
Hello from Oscar.
Alright guys, so don't get me wrong, in the right hands, Assassin's still pretty nasty in a 1v1 situation, except against like a PT or a tank jug. But it's not a clump fight class. It never was until Triple Maul really. The thing is just that Triple Maul allowed us to be a clump fight class, which we can't do anymore sadly. So in this video I'm going to be going over like some general changes and a couple class changes. Most of it's going to be centered around darkness. But most of the general stuff is kind of going to cover Deception, really. So, Deception's always had more sustain than Concealment Operative, which are like, it's kind of the comparative class I'm comparing it to. But not as good Burst, which I'm pretty sure it's intended, since Operatives, bursty abilities are all, 4-meter stuff. Whereas Assassin can kind of attack from 10 meters. These two classes were always intended to be skill-based. Like Operative and Rotor, Sniper, and kind of to some extent Sork and PT in 5.0 were, skill-based. Assassin needs a lot of help. Well, not a lot, but like a little bit of help from your team to survive. One person I know that pretty much mains Assassin now was thanking me for a guard the other night because it allowed them to do pretty well. I don't know, because Assassins can't match up to like tanky classes, and I don't mean just straight tanks. I mean like stuff with like more DCDs or self heals. Like an IO Merc. Not Arsenal because it's pretty easy to bait Arsenal Mercs. Very easy to counter Arsenal on Assassin. Another class, I think, that Deception, in particular, I guess, but I mean, all Assassins really struggle with, big brain NG snipers, man. They get the best of me so often, because, Force Shroud is just once a minute, right? It's not really going to help you against an NG sniper that's constantly got stuff going on you, constantly AoEing and slowing you. You can't do anything against that, plus they have a second Hearthstone. And the second Hearthstone keeps you in their AoE. Like, it's so stupid. They have to AoE you to Hearthstone you, and it keeps you in the AoE for a couple of seconds. Another class that you can't really match up to is any jug with grit teeth. Yeah, I don't need to explain that, do I? Hopefully not. So now I'm going to go into these general changes. We definitely need a better deflection for DPS, right? Your deflection is only good against white damage. So many of the popular classes right now are all yellow damage classes, and you just get rocked through your main DCD. It's not even cool. I would like to see this become the new Saber Ward. And I might make another changes video for like Warriors later on that I definitely want to see Saber Ward get buffed for them. But I think if you brought Saber Ward as it is to Assassin, that would help a lot in the current meta. Maybe not, as it is, maybe a little bit nerfed from Saber Ward as it is. Like a 10 or 15% chance to absorb yellow damage. I think that would be fine, but I don't know. I would like to see a little better, defenses on Assassin if we're going to keep this weak DPS stuff going. I had to take a breath. I talk fast. So, one of the big things, huge things that we needed to change, and this would apply for 5.0 as well. I want Phase Walk back. Snipers have it. Why did snipers get it? I mean, I guess they don't have a double roll anymore unless they take a certain set of gear, which is really just going to keep them from being in a trench all the time, which, I mean, probably good for PvE stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, if we're going to be squishy like this, if you're not going to, you know, make changes to assassin defensives, give us phase walk back. Like, please. We've been wanting it back for so long. In early 6.0, when we had triple maul, we didn't need it back. But now, we only have one boosted maul, and, you know, the meta is yellow damage classes, and we can't stand up to that. So please, if you're gonna keep us squishy, please give us phase walk back. Another change I'd like to see. I want Overcharged Saber to heal a little more. It's currently healing 15% damage, and it gives you a little bit of damage reduction. So I would either like to see it do more damage reduction or more healing, not both at the same thing. That would be a little overpowered. Like right now, it kind of functions the same way as, well, not the exact same way, but the Vengeance Jugs Endure Pain, where they get damage reduction on their Endure Pain, which that's a 10-second ability for them, right? But it doesn't wear off on Assassin. But Jugs get 30% health for that 10 seconds, while Assassins only get 15% of their health and some damage reduction. Jug already has a better defensive in Saber Ward, and self-heals. It's beyond time that we get a better Overcharged Saber. Now, another thing we could do, we could get a new defensive ability, right? I would say I would want something similar to like Cloak of Pain for a Marauder. It's not likely to happen, but the thing is, PT got power yield in 6.0, so it's not completely out of the question, right? I can't remember the word, but a nice change, just visually, would just to be, you know, give every spec Voltic Slash, right? I probably need to turn down my music. Hold on. That was very loud. Voltic Slash, it's really a lot cooler than Thrash. Thrash is just like whoosh whoosh. It's like you're fighting someone at Walmart with a pool noodle, okay? Give us Voltic Slash in all 3 specs, dude. It looks so much cooler. Not likely to happen, but it would be a nice change. Nice cosmetic change, that's the word I was looking for. Another thing I don't think would really happen, but would be, I think, accepted by the majority of people. Bring back Crushing Darkness for Assassin, that would be pretty cool. Give us, you know, a dot attack so we can actually have a, you know, a use for our low slash. I forget who it was, but someone has a dueling video from like 4.0 where they low slash and then they use their Crushing Darkness. And I was just like, bring back that. Why can't we do that? You know? Another thing, I think we could, you know, have this done. Let's get a small DPS boost on Severing Slash. Not a huge one, like 5% maybe. I think that would be fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into like spec specific stuff, right? So for darkness, oh man, I have most of this stuff is darkness, right? So bring back the force speed damage absorption on the phasing phantasm utility for PvE, right? I don't really care about it in PvE, or I mean PvP, because you know it's not always gonna be you know, useful in PvP because you're gonna be speeding around to get everywhere. You can't just, I mean, you can like use it on like an ambush or something, but it's like you're a tank already. You're gonna be using it for speeding around the map. I'm just gonna cloak so this guy doesn't get me real quick. Alright, something I would, okay, so there is a reason that Jug Tank is the best tank in PvP. It's called Intercede. Alright? Operatives have Hollow Traverse, and they can get to enemy and friendly players. Jugs can get to enemy players with their leap, right? And they can get to friendly players with intercede. So, what if, for Darkness Assassin, and listen to me on this one, BioWare, we combined Hollow Traverse and Intercede for Phantom Stride? And maybe lower the cooldown on tank, specifically on tank, not on the DPS specs. That would be very nice. It would make Darkness Assassin playable in PvP. So, I have 3 different ideas about Force Shroud, and I'm going to list them off in order that I got here. So, when a PT is using their power yield, it's going to give them, it's spec specific, I think, but Moscar, you can actually chime in on this one, right? Doesn't power yield give different effects for every spec?
That's a great question. I don't know, actually.
Oh. Well, I know for AP, it does give the 4 stacks of your energy load for your energy burst, or whatever it's called. You would probably know what it is. I don't think that the DPS classes need something with Force Shroud, but Force Shroud has the same cooldown as Power Yield, and less effects. Obviously, it can keep you from getting stunned, which is amazing. You can face tank an ambush, and in 5.0 you could face tank a heat seeker missiles, which I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. You see a lot less mercs in PvP now, which is kind of sad because I did like playing it, but it's whatever. So my first idea is give an instant 3 stacks for Depreding Bolts when you use your Force Shroud. Depreding Bolts is a casted ability, and you can cancel it, and I would give it like a 20 or 25% offensive buff on it. I think that's a good number. It would make Darkness Assassin have a little more burst to it. But overall, it wouldn't be a huge change. I mean, technically it sounds huge, but I don't think it's that big of a thing. My second idea is to make Force Shroud do a 1 or 2 stack Maul buff. Only on Darkness. Because Darkness has almost no damage. For me, I've tried Full Tank and Skank Assassin. I can't manage to do damage on either one. So, I don't know. My third idea is to make Force Shroud give a huge buff. I'm talking like, what's the AP tactical? I'm forgetting the name of it right now.
Superheated fuel?
No, the one for energy burst. Power load?
When I'm not on my computer, I don't know. I'd have to actually look at it.
I think it's power load.
I know.
But yeah, I would want to give Force Shroud like a power load, I think it's called, type of effect to Wither or Shock, right? Because Shock is a glowing ability for Darkness Assassin. It would be nice to see a big damage buff on that. But it would also be nice for Wither, because Wither is basically the same thing as Crushing Blow for Jug. Except it does give a slow, but it's the same in that it's not going to hit CC targets that are around your target. Whew. Gotta take a breath. I think that would just be a really good thing. That's probably even better than the Depreding Bolts, but maybe not as good as the Maul. So now going on to Deception, I only have one thing for Deception. Don't bring back Triple Maul, but give me Double Maul, okay? Triple Maul was too much, and I'm glad it was corrected, but now it feels like assassins are not doing enough DPS for how squishy they are. Yes, we have 2 cloaks, but you're usually using those defensively, not offensively, if there's a PT just hunting you all match, which has happened to me a lot, and I don't like it. Give me double maul, please. If you're just gonna keep us squishy, like, please, give me double maul, please. So for hatred, I have a couple of things. And there are also things for shadow as well. So hatred, we need some defensive passives. I have not like checked into the tree because I don't know hatred like passives by my heart, or by memory, whatever it is. But I would definitely like to see some better defense on hatred. I would also love to see a better initial damage for your death field. It does set up your your 15 stacks of whatever it is that's your main damage on the hatred spec. And I think this could be a tactical, like buff the initial damage of death field, because that's going to give you more pressure on hatred, and that's what hatred's about. It's about pressure. So now on to the changes I'd like to see for shadow. Alright, so for is it infiltration? Is what deception's called pub side. Force breach, which is your discharge. We need new or a new either animation or replace that ability with something with a cooler name and a cooler animation. It just looks like a yellow glowy bit around your lightsaber. It's like around your hand for like 2 seconds, and then it goes into your lightsaber, and you can't see it. And you can't tell when someone's using it because they literally just wave their hand the same way as they would for their interrupt. Like, it's stupid. Don't... Oh my god. And also for the balance spec, which is hatred, all the animations are so similar. I think Cease has a video from like a year ago maybe, where he's playing Shadow, and the video is titled like not enough animations or something like that. And I was like, yeah, like why is balance or shadow look like every animation is the same? Make a different animation set. BioWare's changed Ravage before from a casted ability to a instant ability, so why can't we make our shadows look better? That would be great. I think that's all I have. Moscar, are there any changes you would like to see to Assassin, even though you don't play it at all?
There's nothing that I hate about them right now, so they're fine.
Oh my god. But yeah, with that being said, I think I'm gonna end this video here. Everyone stay safe during crazy times with COVID. Hope everyone had fun on the 4th with their fireworks. I didn't. I was stuck at work hearing pop, 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 and I was getting a migraine. So yeah, may the force be with you guys, and bye-bye.